Rosa here in the Rosa Stringworks workshop. We've got a mandolin here that I think you're going to find interesting. Yes, this is a Rosa mandolin. I don't believe it's been on camera before. Let me just get it up close and let you look at it. It's a used mandolin. It's been played, and you can probably see some marks in this area right here. Not too bad though, just a little bit. And here's the back. It's a beautiful piece of wood. The rose carving there. And the sides. And the sides. And here's what the peg head looks like. Kind of a pink rose, I guess you'd say. And I think it's got abalone dots on the fretboard. Before we get into the story on this mandolin, let me tell you the serial number. This one is 31I25M, which means it was the 31st instrument that I built from scratch, and it was the 25th mandolin. And it says VSR also, which means Valley Springs Ranch, which means that it was built here. It was one of the first mandolins that I built after moving to the ranch here. In fact, let's see what the date is in it. 08. Well, it was early. It wasn't one of the first actually, but it was early. And so it was December 24th, as a matter of fact, 2008, the day I finished it, according to this. And everything's real nice about the mandolin. There's nothing wrong with it that I know of. The action is crazy low. Look at there where it holds the pick. And I'll play it for you here in a minute. But let me tell you the story behind this mandolin. It's almost famous. And I say almost because it's not, but it almost was. If you guys have heard of Tim McGraw, which I'm sure most of you have if you know anything about country music, his acoustic guitar player and I were friends years and years ago before he went off and got famous with Tim. His name is Bobby Minner. Well, we always called him Bobby Minner, but I think he goes by Bob Minner these days, and I apologize, Bob. But Bob had asked me if I would build him a custom mandolin, and so I got to work on this. I just, took his word for it. I didn't take a deposit or anything. And that's okay, there's no hard feelings or anything, but when I got it done, Bob didn't take it. And the reason, he didn't even see it. He never even got to see the mandolin. So it wasn't like he didn't like it or anything. He didn't take it because he had just got the opportunity to buy, I think it was a pre-war D18 or something like that anyway. I don't remember the exact story because it was back in 2008. But anyway, when I called Bob and said, well, I got the mandolin all done, he goes, well, I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to pass. And I said, you're going to have to pass, He says, well, I just bought this, pre-war D18 or whatever it was. And he said he paid a lot of money for it, and I don't doubt he did. So, no hard feelings. I took him at his word. He changed his mind, and there you go. So I told that story to some people, and and I'm sure Leon, my banjo player, heard the story, and Leon said, I'd like to buy that mandolin. And so Leon, our banjo player in our band, bought this mandolin from me. And of course I gave him a pretty good deal on it, being lifelong friends like we are. And he kept it for a very long time until just this right around the end of last year. He gave it to me and he said, would you please go see if you can sell this for me? He says, I think what the reasoning is, there's 2 or 3 reasonings that Leon's selling it. One is that he just doesn't play it. He plays banjo primarily. He plays guitar also, and he plays in 2 or 3 bands, and he just doesn't play mandolin in any of the bands. So the mandolin just sits most of the time. That's one reason. And he's getting older like me. That's probably reason number 2. And reason number 3 is that Leon's doing a lot more traveling these days. He's retired, and he bought a great big motorhome. So, you know, you got to pay for those kinds of things. And so I'm sure that the money would go to a good cause, you know, for that. And so I'm sure all those reasons are his reasons for selling it. Now, he didn't exactly tell me why, but that's just my assumption. And I don't think he'd mind me telling you that. Anyway, there's really nothing at all wrong with this mandolin. And in fact, it's one of the louder mandolins that I've built. I'd hesitate to say it's in the top 2 or 3, but it's probably in the top 5 at least in terms of volume. It's a very good, loud, clear mandolin. I really like the mandolin a lot. Listen to that sustain. It's got sustain in spades. You can still hear it. I mean, it's a really good mandolin. There's nothing wrong with it at all. You'd have to search high and low and look all over to find one any better. I'm not saying it's the best mandolin you can buy. I'm saying it's as good as any you can buy. And it's set up really well. The action is just crazy low. The only negative at all is the pick noise here, you know, where it's on the top there, and that's about it. And that's not terribly bad, but it is noticeable, and I think it shows up in person maybe. There it is. Maybe you can see it a little better that way. It shows up in person perhaps better than it's been showing up on the camera there, so I just want to point that out. Other than that, I don't think there's any damage on it or any wear on it anywhere else. Well, maybe there's a little tiny scratch right here, it looks like, that you can see right there. But I don't see anything else. It's a good mandolin. So we're going to auction this off on my website, www.rosastringworks.com. You can go there and you'll see the current auction on this. And I will tell you that it will be free shipping in the continental United States. Outside of the 48 states, you will get a $50 discount off of whatever the cost of the shipping is. In other words, the last one I shipped, I think it was to Ireland with the insurance that we wanted on that. And it's an expensive item, you know. When you insure an expensive item and you ship an expensive item, they charge you expensive money. And I think it was over $600 to ship it. But you will get $50 off of that because that's approximately what it costs to ship it here in the U.S. So whatever the cost is to ship it to you, if you're somewhere else in the world, just know that you'll get $50 off of that. But otherwise, we're going to just have an open bidding. There is going to be a minimum bid on this of $4,500. And it will, you know, hopefully sell for considerably more than that. At least that's what my hope is, because this is a very good mandolin. I don't say things like that, you know, unless it's true. And I'm telling you, if you buy this mandolin, you will not be disappointed. So, let's play it for you. Made a few bobbles there, but that wasn't too bad. That's what I call Bells of St. Mary, kind of bluegrassed up a little faster than what they played it in the Bing Crosby movie anyway. Punch out the world. It will hold its own in any jam session anywhere. It's probably a little bit low on the bass strings. I'll probably have to adjust that up a little bit. It's buzzing just a tiny bit, but like I said, the action is crazy low on this. It's just crazy low. So it's got a long ways that it could go up. Well, that's about all the noise I can make on this thing with these arthritic hands. I'm telling you, it's getting harder every day to play. It really is. It's hard to get the notes clean anymore, and you just don't have the same feel in your hands like you used to. But this is a very, very, very good mandolin. You will not be disappointed if you buy this mandolin. And whatever the price is, you will be getting a good buy on a really good mandolin. Hope you enjoyed this. Thank you for watching.